Greetings, team. I hope this message finds you well. As we enter the holiday season and come up on the end of the calendar year, I have a short vlog message for you all. It's a little bit different in style. This go around, we've decided to have some students from RFA pose some questions that are on their minds as it relates to their education and schooling, and then a brief message to follow at the end of the video.
Hello, Mr. Blake. Thank you very much for doing this interview. We're very happy to have you. My first question is, what are the challenges of living in a different area than the district you oversee?
Great question from students. It's really a common practice. Most superintendents don't live in the districts where they work. And really, the challenges are simply just time management. Obviously, when you have to travel to and from work, you have your own obligations for your own family. Kids take up a lot of time, as you guys know, as being a teenager. So it's just time management, getting down, making sure that you can be where you need to be at work and doing things with kids in the community that you serve, as well as being present for your own family and your own kids back in the community where you may live. But it is very common practice. Most superintendents do not. I think Rome actually has 5 or 6 sitting superintendents in other districts that live within our current boundaries, which is high by volume, but very common practice. And again, if you can manage your time, really it's not a challenge at all. When things get busy, budget season can become hassle, a lot of late nights. You just got to be able to like a lack of sleep, I guess.
So how many teachers would you say live outside the district as well?
I think it's probably about a 50-50 split. We got a large staff. We got about 1,000 staff, 1,000 employees district-wide when you encompass all different types of staff. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. But, yeah, any district I think you go to, most staff members do not live in the district. Rome's unique. I think we have more that live in our district than do not, but still a fair amount live outside the district.
Do you think the courses being offered at RFA are making our students college or career ready?
I would say relative to the coursework we offer at RFA, we have a much greater array of courses than most high schools in our region. Do I think we can do more? I always think we can do more. I'm of the mindset that Rome Free Academy and the Rome City School District should be the best in the state. And right now, obviously, statistically and otherwise, we got some room to grow. So I would say we do a good job. Do I think we can be better? I certainly think we can do better, and a lot of that comes down to budgeting and finance. And then the bigger picture is, and I'm sure you know this being a student, the time that students have to be able to take courses is challenging. There are a lot of restrictions from the state ed department as to what you guys are required to take. I know there's many students that give up a lunch period simply to try and take upper advanced level courses. At some point you are reaching a point of no return where it's unhealthy for students to not have a break in the day just to fit a bunch of high level courses in. But I think we can strike a balance there, and then most importantly, listen to some of the needs of the students themselves as to what they would like to take that we're not offering that could help them down the road in their futures in college.
Personally, what is a course at RFA that you would like us to offer?
Class that I would like us to offer, if I had to pick myself, and this is just purely based on what I think if I was your age would sound cool to me, would be some form of criminal investigative course, some kind of forensic science, whether it be computer forensic science, criminal forensic science. I just think that forensic science in general is a big business right now, and for me personally would be interesting. I like trying to solve things. I like puzzles. I like learning new things. So on a personal note, that would probably be my look to try and institute if we could.
Have you seen any growth since you started being superintendent?
I think we've seen growth all throughout the district. Specifically to RFA, the graduation rate in 5 years has gone from the mid-70s to almost the mid-80s now. We're up to 83% of our graduation rate, and that has nothing to do with me though. I just happen to be the guy at the top of the food chain here that coincides with the work that the kids are doing. So anytime your statistics improve, if you're using the statistical method as the means of growth, is purely attributed to the work that the kids are doing and the work that the staff are doing with the students to see that growth happen. Aside from that, I think we have grown in other ways. I think that our community is getting stronger. I think more and more kids are voicing concerns relative to things that they want to see in their school, which is a huge plus in my book. Sometimes you don't always hear good things because in order to grow, you have to know what you need to grow at. But the fact that more and more students are feeling safe to voice concerns relative to student-to-student concerns, student-to-staff concerns, whatever arena that might be, I think, in my opinion, that's growth. The fact that students are feeling safe enough to have a voice and share concerns.
Do you think we have enough security here at Rome Free Academy?
That's a great question. I do think we have enough security. I also think that the term enough security depends on the metric in which you base the high school on. In my opinion, RFA is a very safe building. We have less and less incidents each year. Unfortunately, in today's day and age of social media, when something does happen, it tends to go viral because there's always a kid or two taking a video of it and then wanting to use social media to do that. But I do feel that on a given day, almost every day of the week, there's no incidents that are happening here at RFA. Kids are moving about their business and doing what they need to do as young adults. Could we use more security? I think every place in the state or this country could use more security simply for the sake of helping people feel more comfortable. I just think though for the type of student that we have, which are great kids throughout the building, I think that the security is based on the students doing what they need to do as young adults and policing each other and helping each other know right from wrong. And in that sense, the regard, I do think we have enough here.
Can you clarify when the significant repairs to the RFA Stadium will take place and if it's going to interfere with the 2020 graduation?
I can do the best I can. That's a question that's on everybody's minds right now. So if the referendum next month passes successfully, our hope would be to have a new football field in place for the opening of school next September and a new track in place for the track season of 2021. The problem is to get there's a lot of layers. First and foremost, we got to hope for a mild winter, which will allow us to do outdoor work, get the old stuff out, put the new stuff in. The other pieces that are involved in that is there's bidding requirements by law that require us to bid the job for whoever's going to do the work. Once the vote passes, if it does, the State Education Department still has to approve the project plans after that. So there's a lot of layers that are involved to kind of pinpointing when that work will be done. Our goal, though, is to get the field in place for the fall, track in place for the next spring, while we work around graduation. I think graduation is the one thing that's on most people's minds. We do think there's a plan, a process that would allow us to be able to host graduation at the stadium still. However, without getting into the winter a little bit, it'd be really hard to be able to know if that's going to be our venue or not.
Where do you see RFA in the next 5 years?
Well, hopefully RFA continues to grow. We've come a long way in 5 years. The students have been performing, statistically speaking. I don't measure everything by statistics, but the state likes to do that. So our graduation rate has grown quite a bit in the past 5 years. I'd like to see that to continue. I think with the caliber of student that we have and the determination that our students bring to the table every day, I think we'll be closer to that 90% graduation rate. But more importantly, I'd like to see RFA continue to grow to a point where kids want to be. I've said this earlier in the interview. I personally like the fact that more and more students are feeling safe to voice their concerns, voice their desires about what they want their school experience to look like. I've said since I've become an administrator that we all work for kids. We work for you. If it weren't for students, no one in public education would have a job. So you are the client, and if we can continue to focus on that, I think RFA can do great things. We have a facility that's second to none in central New York, and with the right direction following our students, I think we're going to go great places, and this will be a place where more and more people want their kids to have their high school experience.
Thank you, Mr. Blake, for coming down here and answering the questions RFA students have.
Thank you to our students for participating in this vlog. It's always a pleasure to sit and talk with students, as we all know that's what we're here for, and that's what our jobs are all about. I thank you all for your time in this message. I wish you all a wonderful holiday season. Take care.